Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with Najia. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're new, an extra special welcome to my channel. I am just finishing up a reading with the fabulous Linda G. And we mentioned a bit of what Daryl Anka, I had enlightened Linda about his teachings and how I was thinking she should check him out, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, because I had some visions about 3 years ago, visions and clairaudience. I had gotten a message from my main guide about things were not going back to the way ever they used to be. So that what happened in 2020 was in a way preparing us for this bigger change that was going to happen. And there were multiple layers of things, including war, a lot of earth changes, um, difficult times. Although, of course, there's always a silver lining that comes with change, and I do, in other visions, see a brighter future, a peaceful future, especially when the two suns are in the sky, one being a sun and one possibly being a supernova that, died and is leaving the brightness there for a while. So I don't feel like in the future it's especially hot. In other words, so I talked about that, and I thought I'm going to do a reading on what Daryl Anka Bashar said about the election results. How would that play out? So Bashar, who normally never answers a political question, he did answer a question several months ago. And he said that if the female won, that it would lead to full disclosure. But if the male candidate won, it would lead to the dissolution of the United States and World War III, unfortunately. And I did see those type of images in my vision I had and auditory experience with my guides, although there were many, many layers overlapping and it was not clear. And even when I had a very clear auditory experience with my guides in November 2019 that told me devastation was coming, the masks that were sent to me from Amazon that I didn't order, they were meant for me. It was not a mistake. And then I had to put them somewhere safe where I wouldn't forget where they were. And I would have probably died of COVID or given it to someone else had I not been wearing those when I went out, because a lot has to do with viral overload. So I'm going to do a reading based on what Daryl had said, Daryl Anka Bashar. There's a lot of people. I'm not exactly sure, he seems to have his own channel, but there's not a whole lot of video time on that channel. And it seems like everybody else has his videos. I think if you want to find his content, just put Bashar Daryl Anka. If you want to find the election one, put Bashar Daryl Anka election, right? 2024. And then I think a lot of the people that have a lot of videos of him are people that have sponsored him for events. And, I guess they have the video rights and they put them up on YouTube. That's what I'm assuming. Plus, he has been a guest on other people's podcasts. I think I first may have seen him on Next Level Soul, where I see a lot of people first. Next Level Soul is a really good podcast. And I'm just getting the word to put this down. Ooh, broken heart. The key thing, the heart. So yeah, this is three swords, three swords. So one of the things I did see, that I believe will happen based on part geography, part politics. I I get the impression that the US will split into three territories. I think I've mentioned that before. So three of hearts, three spears in the heart, and broken up. It's a breakup. And what is getting in the way are like a lot of choices that aren't real. They're not what they're meant. They're not what you're really showing. There's a lot of deception in the reverse position for the seven of cups, and this is in the obstacle position. And it's something about having choice and it not being the way it appears. All right. So there's all this heartache and trying to recover from heartache. There is a breakup, there is heartache. In the reverse position, it's like trying to recover from that heartache, that breakup, right? Your heart breaking. And there's something about all the choices and it not being the way you really think it is. Something is not the way you think it is. There are hidden agendas under there. Conscious thoughts. Ooh, wishing upon a star. Well, a lot of people having hope and praying for something. And also, do you see that's like making contact with star being too? It's the star card. You know, she does have this contact with a star, this attachment. So he does say that although the results turned out the way they did and we're not having contact right now in a mass disclosure way, that mass disclosure will be happening within a couple years, definitely in our lifetime. Wow. Underneath it all, there's a rebirth. There's death in reverse. And Spirit had me choose this deck for a reason. It's not the traditional pictures. Isn't it interesting? Like this rebirth happens from looking and uncovering something, right? There's a resistance to this unveiling, right? So there's conscious thoughts are wishing upon a star, maybe trying to make contact. The subconscious with this rebirth card. And by the way, in this deck, they're also calling it rebirth. They're not focusing on the death, they're focusing on the rebirth and looking deeper and looking into the other world, the world behind the veil. But in the reverse position, there's a resistance to that. Like getting stuck in that cocoon of not being able to fly, like the butterfly, right? Like you're in the cocoon phase. You're in that death, you're trapped in that death, the caterpillar makes a cocoon and it's like a coffin, right? And then later, if you don't resist and you go with the flow, you will ascend to the skies yourself. And there is a resistance to that. So there's something with our future So far, the cards are, sorry, I'm itchy. I'm so itchy. The cards are kind of going with what he says in that 3-minute video clip. It's kind of interesting. There's not much in that clip, but if you Google it on YouTube, right? Or search on YouTube, don't Google it. Go onto YouTube, put Daryl Anka, Bashar 2024 election. So what we saw is a stalling, the hangman in reverse, a delay. And in this deck, and that's the past. Do you see all the sacred geometry in the water? Like there's some information in the water, and a lot of people will say that the ships are actually under there. They can go in the sky, they can go in the water. And sacred geometry has a lot of codes in it. But this is in reverse. This would be like a timeout that I want to have a timeout. This is like a block when it's in reverse, like it's blocked, like something is blocked from you, right? Knowing something or surrendering to something. It's not like a willing pause. It's like, no, we're blocking you, all right? That's in the past, which is that, there has been no disclosure, right? And then again, more blockages to empowerment in the near future. Because this is in reverse. Yeah, this is in reverse. So this would be like everything coming at you, like the ships coming at you. If it were in the upright position, can you see how this would be the flight path of the ships? Because the Eight of Wands can also represent travel, but this is blocked in reverse in the near future. Yeah. Wow. So, card that represents us is feeling trapped and not being able to celebrate. So something's going to go on where I I'm getting that we're going to be trapped. That like literally trapped from getting out the way we want. We won't be able to celebrate for sure. We're going to feel hemmed in with the number 4 walls. And we're going to be dealing with a lot of anxiety with the moon card. A lot of fear. That's in our environment. And the polarity, you see that polarity, the division, it's what we're going through. I haven't seen any um, battle cards though, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So I'm seeing more about this disclosure issue, the heartache, the breakup. I see a lot of corruption, right? And the hopes and fears. Wow. Okay. Final long-term outcome, devil. Devil in reverse. So people having issues with freedom, getting free from the toxicity. So this is somebody who pulls your strings like a puppet. Do you see? This devil, he's very seductive, very charismatic, and people fall for him. Now, if I was a young woman and this kind of man, I know he's evil, but I'm telling you, if I was a youngin', I would find that attractive and seductive, But I'm over all that now, I'm just like, I see trouble coming. When I went on the dating sites, I'm just like, nah, nah. I'm older, I'm wiser, I see trouble coming. Maybe I'm fine alone, you know? But a lot of people got seduced and their strings were pulled, right? In reverse, it's like there's a resistance, but at this, like things couldn't get any worse. And then eventually they become entangled. The strings will fall away. The prison of seduction will fall away and people will hopefully see the truth. Let's do a clarifier. Wow, the breakup. They're like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. There is, again, the suppression of the charismatic leader, female leader, being halted. Oh, damn. Okay. You've got the Eight of Swords for the here and now. Prison of the mind. They don't see the truth. They see this. You see that? It's when you keep yourself in a prison. You're you're ready for a new beginning. Time out. Four of Swords. It's often called the corpse card in the other deck, in the traditional Rider-Waite. But this is exhaustion, having enough of the swords, the words. Temperance, there's an angel watching over us. There's exploring options overseas. So I don't see a battle. I don't see a battle, and I see some victory in some manner. So I do see the heartache. I do see a lot of deception. I see a lot of fear. I see a lot of negative influence. I see things being delayed and halted. As far as disclosure, but luckily I don't see the battle cards of having a big all out war all around the world. So we don't have the world card. We don't have any of the battle cards. So that's a good. Maybe maybe something has happened in the timeline to shift that horrific energy. But I do see a breakup. I do see the United States. I mean, I saw this 10 years ago, the United States, before any of this crap happened, I saw the United States breaking up. And also get the impression that a lot of it I've had dreams about the earth changes. So I think a lot of it may also follow the natural territories that will be established by the geographical changes. So we'll see. We'll see. No matter what happens, we gotta like do our best to make the life beautiful in our daily lives, in our community, keep building community, keep being friends. There goes my light. With everybody from both sides, right? From both sides. Keep keep an open mind, communicate, don't make enemies unless you really have to. A lot of people are conned, all right? A lot of people have been conned in various ways. And I don't say it's like one side or the other. People in general have been conned by people in power. That is what happens because people in power and they like money and a lot of times they do not have the same morals. They sacrifice a lot to be in power. Because if that's their main thing. So, but not everybody who's in power is a bad person. So you just have to go and look with eyes of wisdom and just do your best to make peace in the world yourself. Because, right? Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. That was a song we sang in church. And it's beautiful words, beautiful message. All right, take care, everybody. You know what to do if you like the video. Subscribe, like, hit the bell for notifications for more stuff. All right, take care. Bye.